iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Full-Time Fantasy Show. FulltimeFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Full-Time Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Dr. Roto, get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. All right, let's see where we are. Let's see if there's any news today to talk about. And we will discuss together. Then talk a little waivers, and we'll figure it all out. Okay, Jacoby Brissett, he's playing this week. The Colts know they need him. They lost to the Dolphins last week. Can't do that again. Can't lose again. He's coming back. So, you have Brissett, you're using him this week. Okay? Next, Austin Hooper out for about a month. So, look, Luke Stocker, more blocker than receiver. I think you're going to see Julio Ridley and Russell Gage. Those are the guys who are going to be there with Brian Hill. I think the Falcons, they're done anyway. We know that. Austin Hooper was Matt Ryan's guy. And look, at this point, I'd be surprised. I mean, 11, 12, 13, 14, could he come back? Maybe. I don't need to see him back, but he could be back a little bit earlier. It's possible, but I think you'd bring him back earlier if you are making a playoff run. But this team's not making a playoff run. They're making no run. Okay, John Ross cleared to practice. He can't come back until week 14. I don't know if I'm bringing this dude back. I just don't want to. If I'm the Bengals, bring him back next year. Play Auden Tate, play Alex Erickson, play Tyler Boyd. That's the way to do it. Okay, Aqib Talib will not be activated from injured reserve by the Dolphins. And let's see, Doug Peterson said Alshon Jeffrey's day-to-day. Aren't we all day-to-day? Think about that. Aren't we all day-to-day? I think we are. Here's some interesting news here, and I thought this was kind of big. 49ers coach Kyle Shanahan said Dante Pettis will continue to see fewer opportunities. Ouch. Didn't we all like Dante Pettis before the season started? Right? The more he doesn't take advantage of his opportunities, the less opportunities he gets. Ooh, that sounds like a coach who hates you. Right? That sounds like a coach who hates you. They've got Kendrick Bourne, they've got Emmanuel Sanders, they got Deebo Samuel. Maybe they don't need Dante Pettis. Maybe Dante Pettis will be traded. Who knows? All right. Looks like Emmanuel Sanders is day-to-day with a rib injury. He's a game-time decision. I don't know if they're going to need him to play against the Cardinals, but I know that he wants to be out there, and if he can play, he will. Okay. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. I will discuss this more on the radio show. The NFL has arranged a workout for Colin Kaepernick in Atlanta. So, I don't know. I want to just say this. Why? 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 If I was a general manager and owner, why do I need him? Why do I need Colin Kaepernick? It's a PR nightmare. Is he that good? I didn't think he was that good even when he played, to be quite honest with you. I'm just throwing it out there. I thought he was good, not a star. He was good. He wasn't a great, very accurate. He was a good runner, good athlete, maybe a great athlete. But do I really need him? I don't know. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. All right, the Jets place Brian Winters on the injured reserve. He's done. Chris Herndon on injured reserve. He's done. Are you kidding me? Chris Herndon, biggest disappointment in fantasy history. Right? Between the hamstring, the ribs, the suspension, what a big, old, fat, wasted pick. That's what I will remember about you, Chris Herndon. You're a big, fat, wasted pick. But that said, I will draft you next year because I don't hold a fantasy grudge. I don't hold a fantasy grudge. I don't. All right, James Conner looks like he's going to play this week. So, Jalen Samuels, good player. But you know what? Not great. He's a good receiver. Not a great runner. I think this team really needs Benny Snell and James Conner to complement Samuels. Samuel's not a guy that we want to give the ball 20 times to and have him run. We want to give him about 8 catches, right? 8 to 8 receptions, but that's it. Paris Campbell hopes to be back by December. Whatever, I don't know about that. Matt Breida may miss some time. That's a problem. Raheem Mostert. I love Raheem Mostert. I do. I like Tevin Coleman more, but I think Mostert's interesting. I think Kyle Shanahan uses a lot of guys, right? Uses a lot of guys. Good news. Good news is Pete Carroll says Tyler Lockett should be okay and doesn't expect him to miss some time. That is great news. That is really great news. I'm very happy to hear that because a lot of us have Lockett, right? A lot of us have Lockett and expect the best for him. So just before I came on this podcast, I made a trade today. I did. I made a big trade. And I was actually very pleasantly surprised with the trade. And I really like the comment that the other owner made. So here's what I did. I'm looking to win. I'm looking to win. And I made a trade that I think should be enough to put me over the top. But I traded, so here's what I traded. Devin Singletary, who I love. Juju Smith-Schuster, Austin Hooper, and Sam Darnold. Right? So I traded some guys. I traded him for Mark Andrews, DK Metcalf, David Montgomery, and Carson Wentz. I wanted Wentz's playoff schedule. I love me some DK Metcalf. Andrews is better than Hooper, and Hooper's out for a few weeks. And David Montgomery's got a really good schedule the rest of the way. And here was the compliment. I sent the guy a DM. I said, I sent you a trade offer. I think it should work. And he wrote back, you always make fair offers. He did. He always make fair offers. And then I joked with him and I said, only with my friends. But you know what? I really appreciated that compliment. I did. I appreciated that compliment because the truth was this. I did try to make a fair offer and I think my offer was pretty fair. Now, is it my advantage? It is. I'm not going to lie about that. But is it grossly in my advantage? No. Hooper and Andrews are, if Hooper's healthy, I wouldn't have done that. I would have kept Hooper. I would argue that Singletary is better than Montgomery, and I'd argue that Juju is better than Metcalf, with the exception of Mason Rudolph's there. And I'm trying to win now. But next year, Juju's a star. Bring Ben Roethlisberger back, and Juju's a star. So what I want to get at is this. Here's today's lesson. Make good trade offers. Make good trade offers. You don't have to push somebody's face in the ground to make a better deal. Right? I think this deal is in my favor, but this is not an 80-20 deal. If it was, it wouldn't have gotten done. This deal is way more 55-45. My advantage, but not gross. He can still say, well, he got Singletary, he has Hooper, maybe Darnold is a flyer, right? Juju's great next year. Remember, we can keep 3 keepers. I don't know if I mentioned this. We can keep 3 keepers for next year, right? So maybe Singletary is one of his guys. Should be. I love him, right? When you're making a trade with another team, you want to win the trade. We always do. We never want to lose a trade. But we don't need to embarrass somebody else by stomping them on the ground and making a trade offer that's so disgusting that this guy never wants to trade with you again. Right? Make a solid offer that puts you in an advantage, but not a gross offer. Because I want to go back to a team and make another trade with them. But if you rip them off, you know what they're going to do? Never trade with you again. And maybe rightfully so. If you did that, if you gave me a trade, I'll never forget, years ago, I'm making a trade with a guy, and he says to me, if you rip me up on this deal, I'll never trade with you again. I was like, whoa. I said, look, these are the players. I'm not trying to rip you off, but I'm trying to make a trade. Right? Most often, trades are not apples for oranges, right? I will trade you Hooper for Metcalf. I mean, that does happen sometimes. In football, that's easier, right? Sometimes you need a tight end, and you need to give up a running back. Boom, it matches. But sometimes it's 2 for 1. Sometimes things work out in certain ways we don't know. right? So I never want to go into a deal to rip off somebody. Now, I've got a very close friend, one of the nicest guys I know, who always makes rip-off trade offers. Always. And he says, why not? I should try to get the advantage. I go, dude, you're turning people off. They don't want to trade with you. He goes, but I'm willing to negotiate. People don't like to negotiate when it's an 80-20 offer because they never feel that you're going to get to 50%. And the point of a trade is to get as close to 50% as possible. Right? That's a perfect deal. If the trade offer makes me, if I can look at the trade and go, yeah, it's interesting. That's a good trade offer. If I look at it and I go, no, why? Or my favorite, don't you know I'm Dr. Roto? Then you know it's a bad trade offer. Like, why would I do that? Why would I do that dumb deal? Right? I say that a lot. Why would I do this deal? I get how it helps you. How does it help me? If you can't answer that question, don't make the trade offer. I get how it helps you. You're making the trade offer. But if you're making it to me, you better give me an offer that makes sense to me. Why would I do this deal? Now, here's another thing. This is one that from a league of mine. You never should have to explain the deal to somebody. If you have to explain why it's good for me, it's not good for me. I should be able to look at a deal and go, yeah, makes sense. I see how this helps me. I see how this helps my team. If I can't see it, then I am not doing it. If you have to explain why it's good for me and I can't get it, you're probably not going to explain it to me. It's just how it works. Right? I need to know viscerally. Right? People have a visceral response. They see a trade offer and they go, yay, nay. Maybe, no. Make sense or not. It's a visceral response. If you have to well, don't say no yet. Let me explain it to you. My eyes start rolling. I'm not paying attention. Not interested. I'm not interested when you have to explain it to me. Okay? That's how you make a good trade offer. What do you need? What does he need? Think about it and ask yourself this question. Would I do this deal if I'm him? So when I did that Singletary deal, I thought to myself, yeah, Singletary's good. Hooper's good. Juju's good for next year. Yeah, I'd probably do the deal. I said to myself, well, I don't mind giving up Montgomery. Andrews, I'm okay giving up because I'm getting Hooper back. I really don't like to give up DK Metcalf. I don't want to do that. But if I want to get Singletary and Juju, I got to do something. So yeah, makes sense. Right? That's how you have to think about a trade. All right. But now, you know what you need to think about? Joining Full-Time Fantasy. Enter the promo code ROTO50. Get you 50% off your first 2 months. But right now it's time to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. Back with you on Friday with the Visionaries. The picks that you need to win in seasonal DFS. This is Dr. Roto saying be well and take care.
Thanks for listening to Full-Time Fantasy. There's never been a better time to join and go full-time. Visit fulltimefantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO50 for 50% off your first 2 months. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time.